Back here on ESPN Bet Live, a funny thing happened to the Celtics last night in Cleveland on their way to a 12th straight victory. They entered the fourth quarter with a 17-point lead, grew it as large as 22, before losing in regulation after a foul on Jason Tatum's last-second shot was overturned by replay. Cavs were as long as 30-1 live to win the game outright. Bad beat indeed. The Celtics dropped to 364-1 in games in which they've held a fourth quarter lead of at least 20 points, dating back to 97-98, 22-point blown fourth quarter lead, largest this season. Boston was outscored 34-11 in the final 9 minutes. They went 0 for 6 from downtown, while Cleveland made all 8 of their three-point attempts. Erin, Joe, it's our guy Big Perk in the house. How we doing, Kendrick Perkins?
Hey, what's going on? Happy y'all got me back on, man. I appreciate it. I've been missing y'all.
Well, we love having you on because you're always entertaining and always informative. I bet there's a deadbolt lock coming at some point, but let's start with those Celtics who blew that lead to the Cavs, and they didn't even have Donovan Mitchell on the floor last night, Big Perk. So is that a big deal or something just to brush off and say it happens?
Look, to all the Celtic fans out there, everybody just keep a cool booty. It wasn't that big of a deal. Now, do Jason Tatum have to be better in the clutch? Absolutely. He's one of the worst when it comes down to closing games in the final, 10 seconds of clutch jump shots. I get that part. But at the end of the day, I feel like this. With the Celtics, you need those type of games, right, to prepare you for the postseason. The Celtics have been stomping everybody out, right? And so when you have this type of game, it brings you back to reality, bring you back to what's, keeping the main thing and not dropping your guards on games that you're supposed to win and giving up big leads.
Now, the Celtics still have a 7.5-game lead over the Milwaukee Bucks, so the 1 seed in the East feels sort of safe, but the Bucks have gotten hot. And 2 weeks ago, you said you wanted to throw the towel in the trash. You were done with the Milwaukee Bucks. How do you feel about them now?
You know what? And I was wrong, Erin, because I know better. I know better. I know I should trust Doc Rivers. No matter what the outside world is saying, I'm supposed to believe in Doc Rivers because I won a championship with him. And so I thought it was a personnel thing. But what I see is it's a mentality when it comes to the Milwaukee Bucks. Watching Damian Lillard, watching Michael Beasley fight to get up over screens, watching Giannis Antetokounmpo be better in the pick and roll. Do you know when he was involved with the screens before Doc Rivers, he was ranked, he was 81st in the league. After Doc Rivers, he's now top 10. I believe he's number 8. So when I'm watching this team play, they playing with a certain type of tenacity, a certain type of edge, and Doc Rivers most definitely got the ears of that locker room, along with Patrick Beverley. He got a hand in this too.
I should have kept a cool booty and waited until the end of that commentary there, Perk. I'm sorry about that. Let's zero in on the Southeast Division. Miami's a -135 favorite. Orlando's +112 to win the division. Here's the thing. Magic are a half game up on the Heat, and they have the 4th easiest schedule the rest of the way out. Am I crazy to like Orlando here?
No, I'm right there with you. I'm going with Orlando as well. Like my grandmother say, they may be young, but they got a lot of old souls, baby, on their team, and they play like a veteran group. When you watch this team play, they play winning agenda-free basketball. Defensively, they get into you. They make you uncomfortable. They have a lot of athleticism. They have a rising young superstar in Paolo Banchero, and this team is well coached, and they're on a mission. And I don't know how I've been sleeping on them the entire season, and they crept up on me at the number 4 seed, but they're going to win the division. I'm with you 100%.
And sticking with divisions, the Northwest is tight. OKC +150, Denver +160, Minnesota +230. Where should we be putting our money, Perk?
On the Minnesota Timberwolves. I got all faith in Anthony Edwards, right, to win this division, to capture the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. Here's the thing, right? I don't believe that the Denver Nuggets really want the number 1 seed like that. And I just feel like when you look at the Timberwolves right now and you look how they play, they style of play on both ends of the floor, they've been having an identity, especially on the defensive side of things. And when you have a young leader like Anthony Edwards that's coming in, that's having that key in those guys' back, that's being able to be held accountable, I like their odds. I like the Timberwolves winning this division.
All right, I want to see where this ranks on the craziness scale, right? Zion and the Pelicans are 60-1 to win the title. They're 25-1 to win the West. Nobody's talking about them. That's part of the reason the prices are so long. Last 15 games, they're 11-4. They're 6th in the NBA in defensive efficiency. They're 5th in the entire NBA in point differential. I'm not saying they win the whole thing, but we play that price perk, and we have an opportunity in the playoffs to hedge against them if they can make a little run. Can they make a little run in the postseason?
Well, you ready for this?
Yeah.
They're actually my sleeper to come out of the Western Conference.
Oh, my.
Right? When you look at them, you're watching a fully engaged Zion Williamson right now. This is what this team been wanting. This is what the Pelican fan base been wanting. He's engaged. He's playing with a edge, like he has a point to prove. I love the depth that they have at the wing position. Brandon Ingram don't get talked about enough when we talk about a lot of young stars and superstars in the NBA. And when I look at the leadership, C.J. McCollum has been the ultimate leader for them, right along averaging a little under 20 points. I love what Jose Alvarado comes in and bring off the bench. So I'm looking at this Pelican team, man. They could really be a force to be reckoned with in the Western Conference, and that's why I got them as my sleepers to come out of the West.
No one here.